second semifinal of the boys 17th District High School basketball tournament, pitting the North Hardin Trojans against the Central Hardin Bruins. Hello everyone, along with Hugh O'Brien, this is Lee Bramlett, Hardin County Educational and Community Television welcomes you to this production of high school sports. Hugh O'Brien, it is one of the most sought after, I guess, or maybe look forward to days of the year. You mark the calendar, certain games of the year, and semifinals in the district, one of those days.
Yeah, since October 15th, these guys have been practicing and playing games and working toward today. Semifinals, chance to go to the district finals and a chance to stamp a ticket into the region. And if we can get anywhere near as good a game here in the second one as we got in the first one, we're in for a doozy.
The winner of this one will play John Hardin in the championship game on Friday night. The Bulldogs advance with a 62-60 win over Elizabethtown. As you see the Central Hardin Bruins on screen right now, 12-12 during the regular season. They were 4-4 in the district, good enough for a number 3 seed by virtue of those 2 wins over Elizabethtown. They move out of at least having to play that 4-5 play-in, but draw a very tough North Hardin team, although played them very close in both regular season games.
We've had 2 regular season games between the Central Hardin and North Hardin Lee, and both of them have been a 2 or 3 possession game, could have swung either way. North able to get the better of it both times.
North Hardin comes in as the number 2 seed. They're 21-7 overall. They finished 5-3 in the district campaign. They're coming off an 84-77 win over Bardstown. A couple of games, or a few games prior to that, Coach Ron Bevers picked up career coaching win number 800 in their victory over Marion County.
It's an unbelievable number, Lee. It's just hard to imagine 800 wins over a course of a high school coaching career, and kudos to Coach Bevers. He's been a legend around here for a long time.
And this year's team, another solid squad. When they bring in players, Tyler Landry averages a double-double, 11 points, 10 rebounds. Although their leading scorer will be Ruben Gosa. The 6-foot senior scores about 17 a contest.
Yeah, and you look at another guy that's on the periphery a little bit, Lee, and I really like the way Khalil Rashid plays. I think he's critical for him. I think he needs to have a good ball game tonight to help North Hardin get along.
Thanks to the sponsors making possible coverage of this event on Channel 1 at HCEC-TV, that being Brandenburg Telecom, Physical Therapy Associates, E-Town Exterminating, Bluegrass Cellular, E-TownApartments.com by Mark Harris Construction, and West Point Bank. Keys to this ball game tonight, I think for Central Hardin, we saw it in their game against Meade County to wrap up the regular season. They're a team that as of late has gone to the three-point shot, about 31.2% from three-point range, really knocked down some threes against Meade County. You have to think to try and go up against the size advantage that Rashid and Landry bring into the ball game, they've got to knock down some threes.
Yeah, you really like to get Troy Squires going early. The 2 games against North Hardin, I think his total points is like 49. Had 30 down at Central and 19 up at North. Got to get a couple of other guys knock down a 3 or 2, but I really think the perimeter game's key for Central Hardin. Another thing, I talked to Coach Wright pregame. I said, looking at it, JC, I said, if I'm giving you any advice, he said, I'm thinking you got to protect the basketball. You got to limit your turnovers, and key is trying to stay even on the boards, doing a good job blocking out on the defensive backboards. He says, I've never heard that before. They've been preaching that all week long, Lee. They've been preaching it all week long. Those are the big themes for them.
North Hardin also talk a little about some three-point shooting. They're not known for the three-point shooting this year, but it seems like later in the year, as they've gone along, their threes have improved. They've been a more deliberate, playing in the half-court set, looking for the good shots. King, Goza have knocked them down.
And that's been a key. They've improved that aspect of their ball game down the stretch, and that's why they're playing pretty well coming into the tournament here. And they've got a big guy inside. Tyler Landry can draw some attention, which opens up those perimeter opportunities.
North took both meetings of the regular season, 57-54, up at Central Hardin on January 2nd. Then won again on the 29th, 51-48, in which Central had a chance to tie it at the end of regulation on a three-pointer. But those 2 games now fade into history. The only game that matters is the one that's about to start here in 2 minutes. We're going to turn it back over to the public address announcer here at John Hardin High School for the introduction of the starting lineups for this second semifinal game between the North Hardin Trojans and the Central Hardin Bruins.
Welcome to John Hardin High School for the second game of the 17th District semifinals. This game features the Central Hardin Bruins and the North Hardin Trojans. Starting lineup for the visiting Bruins on the scoreboard. Edquan, the 5'8" senior, number 12, Andy Kerr. And forward, the 6'1" senior, Rashid. Starting at guard, 6-foot senior, number 12, Ruben Doza. Starting at center, 6'6" senior, number 42, Tyler Landry. The Trojans are coached by assistant Darren Murray, Gary Valentine, Mike Coker, and the head coach, Ron Beverly. Tonight's officials are Tim O'Keefe, Reese
Lineups out of the way. North Hardin there on the right-hand side of your screen, now center screen. 21-7 overall on the season. Looking to advance to the district championship game for a second straight year. As Central Hardin out of the center jump circle. The Bruins, as we'll send Crowder into the jump circle against Landry.
You see the jump ball there. You see the size advantage Landry has over any of the Central Hardin players.
Although Crowder goes up, tipped around, and Crowder comes down with the basketball. And we're underway with semifinal number 2. North starts man-to-man defense is Kerr, being guarded by Lewis. Crowder takes the game. Did not see him in that game against Meade County to wrap up the regular season. Squires back out front to Kerr. Now Squires takes it. He'll launch a three-pointer. That's an air ball. Landry collects it.
Contested three-pointer right there. Good job by North to recognize defensively who the shooter is.
Down in the corner, King will try a three. Doesn't go. Race for the rebound. Rashid outruns Central. Rashid will try a three from the other side. No good. Rebound. Lewis steps inside. Pushes up the shot. Doesn't get it to go. Tip fought for. Landry back up. Doesn't go. McCullough tips it. Landry gets it back. Follow-away jumper off the top of the backboard. A scramble. Rashid comes down with it. We get a jump ball or a foul. I believe they're signaling foul.
Nobody shy about getting in the air early, Lee. There's about 4 shots on this possession.
Tyler McCullough will pick up the foul. His first, team first. Inbounds to North Hardin. And we get a whistle and a travel.
Good call. That's a good call. He could have taken the open three-pointer, decides to get a little closer to the basket, shovels the feet.
It'll be Central basketball.
I think the coaching staff wanted him to shoot that ball out of the corner. He was wide open.
Central Hardin looking to return to the district championship game for the first time since 2008 when they won their first and only district title.
A couple of times here, North has run and jumped on the first pass. They go to the guy the first pass goes to.
Goza drives, can't get it to go, but Rashid on the follow. North scores the first point, 6:38 remaining in the first. Central basketball, and Rashid jumps the passing lane, able to track it down, trying to find Lewis, diving for it, falls out of bounds. It'll go back to Central Hardin.
Rashid with a steal there, but they turn it back over. He's a high-energy guy, defensively and offensively. Gets the offensive putback, gets the steal. North doesn't handle it very well. Execution not great as they turn it back over.
Kerr will bring it up the floor with 6:25 remaining. Just underway here at John. Second semifinal. Winner gets the Bulldogs on Friday night. Here's Crowder driving to the basket, can't pull it in. On the floor, Rashid diving for it. Again, tracks another one down. Goza will come across the time stripe. Angles to the right side. Out front, Lewis. King. King being chased by Squires, gets around him. Runner on the way, no good. Fight for the rebound. Goes out of bounds, stays to North Hardin.
Coach Wright cannot be happy with the rebounding down here in the defense early. They're giving them a lot of second opportunities. That ball, potential rebound out of bounds off Central.
We're 2 minutes into the ball game. Rashid's basket, the only points up to the moment, but that has changed. Goza goes to the basket and will go to the line.
Goza gives him a little jab step misdirection move. Jabs left and cuts really hard to the basket right-hand side.
Kerr picks up the foul, his first. Central second. Now Goza, a 79% free throw shooter, will go to the line. Trying to break North out to a 5-point edge. This one no good. Rebound comes down to Cody Elmore. Kerr will bring it up the floor. 5:51 remaining, quarter number 1. Kerr, Squires, has it slapped away and picked up by Goza. Double team pressure, Goza ahead to Landry. Has the ball stripped away to the floor. Lewis gets it back, tied up. We'll get a foul on Central Hardin.
North not having a lot of success down around the basket, but getting tons of early opportunities.
Crowder with his first, team third. Inbounds North Hardin, 5:37 to go first quarter. They'll lob it into Rashid. We'll hand it back to Goza. Goza down in the corner. Rashid, Landry takes it. Landry against the double team, kicks it out. Here's King driving the baseline, lays it off and in.
And McCullough doesn't get back. He's trying to play the big guy right there. Cannot recover to cut off the baseline. Gives King the alley, and he goes all the way to the basket.
J.C. Wright will take a 30-second timeout for Central Hardin. 5:23 left to go in the first quarter, and North jets out to a 6-0 lead.
We had a similar start in the first game as John Hardin was able to jump out 8-0, but E-Town climbed their way back in the ball game, and for the better part of that ball game, it was back and forth.
Right now, North grabs the early advantage, similar to the game we saw in Cecilia earlier this year, where North came out, looked strong for really about 2 1/4 quarters, and then in the third quarter, Central caught fire, took the lead. North had to work down the stretch and hold on for the win there.
Yeah, North built up what looked like a nice little double-digit lead down there at Central Hardin. Troy Squires gets hot. Central plays real hard and gets right back in the ballgame. Actually had the lead in that ball game late. North able to pull it out at the end.
Inbounds comes into Kerr. 5:20 to go here in the first quarter. North out 6-0. Squires with the basketball. Squires. Crowder takes it. Bounce pass inside. Dylan Glenn in the lineup. He puts it up and in.
Dylan Glenn's come along all season long, improved as the season wore on. Coach Wright's gone to him more, been able to count on him more, both on the offensive and the defensive end of the floor.
Gets Central on the board as we're under 5 minutes to go here in the first quarter. 6-2. Lewis to Landry. Back out front. Goza with it. 17-footer on the way. Count it.
Well, it's a nice pull-up. Got a guy on him, but able to pull it up. One strong dribble, pull-up jump shot about 17 feet.
4 from Goza. Makes it 8-2. 4:40 remaining in the first quarter. Elmore with it on the right side for Central Hardin. Off to Kerr. Kerr drives past Lewis, lobs it off to Glenn. Ball batted in the air, and Rashid comes down with it. Goza trying to push the issue for North. Pulled up jumper. Can't get the roll. Gets his own miss back up. Can't get it to go, but does in.
Guys all over the floor over there. 1 for each team.
6 for Goza. 8-point lead now for North.
Coach Wright really needs the pace of the game to slow down. He said today he'd like to see a game in the 50s. That's where we've got a chance to win the ball game. North offensively through half of a quarter up to 10 points.
Squires tries the 3 that doesn't go. Rashid with a rebound, and North on the run. And Elmore is hurt down at the far end, and he is favoring his arm.
The referee gave North a chance to attack, but once they circled the ball back out to reset, referee blows the whistle, creates the dead ball to get the injured guy attended to.
That's Cody Elmore still on the floor in some pain. TJ Gordon, number 23, into the lineup for Central Hardin. Jacob Barnes, number 20, into the lineup.
I think Elmore was on the floor this last trip down here when the basket was made by Gosa down there where he followed up his own shot. There were a couple guys on the floor, and he comes to this in the floor, ends up back on the ground, and good to see him up and walking off under his own power, but still holding on to that one side.
And Elmore, a 35% three-point shooter, still favoring that arm. As play resumes, it'll be North basketball. 3:56 to go here in quarter number 1. Trojans out to a 10-2 lead. Goza in the backcourt takes it. Across the time stripe. Goza. King had to reach out to get that one.
JC's got him playing 1-3-1 here.
Now out front, Goza takes it. Goza down in the corner, Lewis with it. Back out front, Goza. Steps inside, kicks it over. King will try a three-pointer, got it.
4 corners are where you get the open shots against the 1-3-1. You get it out of 2 deep corners and you get it out of the 2 elbow extended wings. Those are where shots are available. King able to knock that one down.
John Hardin was able to knock down a few threes in the game against the 1-3-1. May have proved huge in that game. Glenn with it. Hands the ball off to Squires. Barnes on the cut. Goes inside against Landry. Doesn't get the shot. Goes to the floor. Loose ball still on the ground. Picked up by Goza. Goza drives, lays it off the glass and in, and draws the foul.
Glenn and Crowder still in the backcourt. Is Crowder very slow to get up.
Of course, Crowder has his right hand taped up. Troy Squires picks up his first, team 4th. Now Goza will head back to the line. Missed his only attempt a moment ago.
Unless Central can find a way to change the pace of this ball game and change it soon, Lee, it's trouble for them. They've got to have a slower pace than what's happening right now. North offensively is on a pace for a big quarter.
16-2 now the score at 3:05 in the first quarter. Goza with 7 points on the night. Down low, here's Glenwood. We get a whistle and a push off against North Hardin.
Landry had one hand up in the air, must have the other hand low in the back, trying to get battle for position.
Landry picks up the foul, his first, team first. 9 points for Goza, not 7. Crowder will inbounds the ball to Squires. Squires has goes on him, spinning, looking. They find Gordon, but Lewis gets a hand on it. Knocked to the floor, scramble. Picked up. Gordon forces up the shot, no good. Landry loses the handle, and a foul on Central Hardin.
Gordon gets what you call the frustration foul right there. Missed the layup attempt under some pressure, and then he commits the foul trying to get it back.
Gordon picks up his first, team 5th. McCullough back in the lineup for Central Hardin. Inbounds comes into Ruben Goza.
McCullough back in, and they go back to the man-to-man.
Goza angles to the right. They'll lob it down low to Landry. Landry in the paint, dishes back out. Sheed will try a three-pointer, doesn't go. Tip, Crowder goes to the floor.
Wow. Rasheed should have got a foul there. He gave him a pretty good bump.
A jump ball will give the ball back to North Hardin.
Yeah. It's unfortunate for Central Hardin because Rasheed easily could have got called. You think one of the 3 guys would have saw that. Pretty much a hip check to knock Crowder to the ground.
Goza across the time stripe. Central working man-to-man, rips the pass down to King. Fall-away jumper is in and out. Barnes comes down with a rebound. Rasheed got a hand on it and picks it up for North.
Got to protect that basketball. Coach Rice said we've been preaching that. We got to value the ball.
Goza with the shot doesn't go but draws the foul.
Elmore back down on the bench now with an ice pack on that left shoulder.
Tyler McCullough has picked up his second foul, the team 6th. And now Goza hits back to the line. 1 of 2 from the line. Steps up with 2 minutes even to go here in the quarter. First free throw is good. Kerr back in the lineup as North Hardin extends that lead now to 17-2. The 6-foot senior with one more shot here. Free throw is good.
Central battled back from this kind of deficit in the second half down at Central Hardin. We mentioned that game earlier, but tough hole to get in this early in the ball game. You really need something to go right. You need it to go right now.
Under 2 minutes remaining, and North really applying the defense as Crowder goes to the basket, puts it in.
Nice aggressive move. They've had the ball on the perimeter a lot offensively. I really think attacking the basket may be the answer to try to get them out of the offensive low point that they're in.
As Lewis travels with the basketball, that basket by Crowder snaps a 12-0 run by North.
Well, you get a basket, you get a turnover. Gives you a chance to cut in that lead. You're not going to get it all back at once. For Central Hardin, you got to try to whittle away at this thing a little bit.
Full court pressure by North, inbounds to Kerr with 1:34 remaining in the first.
Really trying to turn Kerr and make him start the offense on the left-hand side of the floor.
Goes to the left-hand side, hands it to Crowder. Here's McCullough going to launch a three-pointer that is no good. Rebound comes down to Lewis. Bounce pass to Landry. Out front, King launches a three. That is no good. Rebound comes down to Kerr.
Landry's a willing passer out of the post, so when he draws the double team, he will look for an open teammate.
Kerr will try the three-pointer. No good. Rebound. McCullough goes up and draws the foul. It'll be on Rasheed. That'll be his first, team second.
If you're North Hardin, that's better that call comes to the table as Rasheed instead of Landry.
McCullough heads to the line, the 6'3 senior. First one rattles around. Central as a team shoots about 60% from the line.
North Hardin here in the first quarter, offensively and defensively, have been very, very aggressive, and it's been productive.
As they have taken the 14-point lead, now 13 after McCullough hits the free throw.
Played 7 minutes, plus 7 minutes. Central been held to 5 points. So Garrett at North's defense. Also North, the offensive end, pushing up on a 20-point quarter.
Here is King with the basketball, drives into the paint, kicks it over to Goza. Goza will put up a three-pointer and drain it.
He's making that. Boy, they're tough. They start making those outside shots. They've got the dribble penetration. You got the big guy down inside that commands a double team. North playing really well here to open the ball game.
21-5 the score. Glenn down in the paint, lost the handle, tipped up in the air. Ball knocked away. Lewis has it. Lewis looking, lays it off the glass, no good, but will head to the line. With 23 seconds left in the quarter. Foul is going to be on Gordon, his second.
I like what North's doing in the first quarter here, Lee. Everything offensively has been strong and assertive. They haven't hesitated on anything. The only hesitation, and they fussed at him about it, they didn't shoot the three-pointer out of the corner over there. Goes on the inbounds play, ended up walking. They wanted him to shoot that ball. They want them to be super ultra-aggressive on the offensive end.
Johnny Hopkins will check into the ball game for North Hardin. Jeremiah Draper also in the ball game for the Trojans. Rashid and Landry take a seat with 23 seconds remaining.
Yeah, 23 seconds, and they'll get the timeout between the quarters to give those guys just a little bit extra breather. They played harder in the first.
Lewis missed both attempts. Central brings it up with 16 seconds left in the quarter. Squires back to Crowder. Back to Squires, who just simply let that one get away from him.
Thinking about it, I think he's wanting to pull that trigger. Defense looks like maybe they're a step off of him. Going to give him an opportunity right there. Took his eye off the basketball.
10 seconds remaining in the quarter. Goza will bring it up the floor. At 5, at 4, at 3. Goza down to the corner. King puts up a three-pointer that's no good. Rebound by Draper, but time runs out on the quarter. But North Hardin has stormed out to a 21-5 lead after one quarter, thanks to the sponsors making possible coverage of the ball game. Brandenburg Telecom, Physical Therapy Associates, E-Town Exterminating, Bluegrass Cellular, eTownApartments.com by Mark Harris Construction, and by West Point Bank. Leading scorer in the ball game, Ruben Goza with 14 to pace the way for North Hardin. Across the way, it's 2 points for Crowder, 2 points for Glenn, 1 for McCullough.
Central will get the ball to start the second quarter. Looks like possession arrows their way, Lee. Coach Wright, if you're down here in the huddle, you got to talk about, we got to do a better job on the rebounding, but ideally you'd like to draw up a play to get you a basket and a good start early here in the second quarter.
North ran out to a 6-0 lead, then quickly went on it after Central scored. North went on a 12-0 run to push it out to 18-2. And right now the margin matched at 16 at 21-5.
And Coach Bevers, they come to the bench here, Coach Cover, they got to be patting the guys on the back, but I also tell them don't let up. We love the way you're playing. We love the pressure that you're bringing, the energy that you're bringing. Let's stay on that high.
So it'll be Central basketball, mindful again that the Bruins rallied from a double-digit deficit in the second half of the game at Central. Inbound comes into Kerr.
You got to think North Hardin's mindful of the fact that they came back from a deficit in both games also. Want to keep the heat turned up.
Crowder with the basketball. Brings Squires over. Now Crowder into the paint. Forces up the 8-footer. Doesn't go. Rashid with the rebound for North Hardin. Goza. King to the inside. Tries the layup and draws the foul.
Central's got to stop the ball earlier. You got to stop it further out on the floor. When you don't have a defender attack the ball handler until he's 5 feet from the basket, defensively you're going to be in a bind.
Tyler McCullough picks up his third foul, the team 8th. So now King heads to the free throw stripe, about a 70% shooter on the season. First free throw is good. King with his 6th point of the night.
Into the game, number 20, Jacob Barnes.
Barnes into the lineup as North takes their biggest lead of the night, 22-5. Free throw on the way, good. King with his 7th point to make it 24-5.
North's pushed out big and threatening to run away with this one, up 18 early in the second.
20 and a foul on North Hardin. Foul's going to be on Lewis.
Referee's getting a ton of pressure from the Central Hardin crowd up behind us. There's a ticky-tack foul right there. Coach Bever is asking about it.
Foul on Lewis, his first, team third. 7:30 remaining in the half. A 23-5 lead in favor of North Hardin. Kerr takes the ball in the backcourt. Squires with it. Squires being chased by Gosa, drives the baseline, puts up the shot, but draws the foul. Foul is going to be on Gosa. That'll be his first, the team fourth.
Well, he's not shooting, there's the ruling. I thought he was getting that ball up in the air.
Officials say on the floor, though, so Crowder will have to inbounds. Here is Squires, shot blocked by Landry, and we get a jump ball, and the alternating possession will favor North Hardin.
Landry does such a good job. That's a flat-footed block. All he does is stand up and make himself tall to get the block. Then they end up with the tie-up for the jump ball call.
7:15 to go here in the first half of play. Lewis in the front court. Ball lobbed off to Landry. Trying to pull it in, does make the save. But right into the hands of Barnes. Here's Crowder driving, puts up the shot. A foul on Landry.
Maybe King from behind him. Well, if I get Landry there.
That'll be his second. Team fifth.
McCullough on the bench. Central's inside guy with 3 fouls. Landry may go to the bench with these 2.
As they bring Hopkins off the bench. 7 minutes even to go here in the half. Crowder to the free throw line, missed the first attempt.
Central battling uphill and struggling a little bit at the line here early.
Crowder the leading scorer for the Bruins at 14 a game.
This will be their 4th opportunity right now. They've made 1 of 3.
One more attempt up Kelly here. Back of the rim on this one, and Hopkins collects the rebound. Goes into the front court, gets it to Lewis. Lewis tries to the inside. Central fans wanting to travel there. In the front court, Kerr with it. Kerr drives to the basket against Lewis. Goes the floor hard. And a foul on Lewis.
Getting a little bit rough out here right now. Referees need to take a little bit of control, try to settle this one down.
Lewis picks up his second, the team 6th.
Called that on the ground. That's the last 2 fouls. I thought the guys going into the shooting motion, jumping into the air. They don't get free throws out of either one.
Malik Thomas, number 10, into the lineup for the Trojans. And Coach J.C. Wright not happy at all.
He hadn't been happy last couple trips up and down the floor. He's on this guy out front.
Here is Barnes going to pull up with a 15-footer, no good. Rebound, Glenn goes back up, has it slapped down. Here is the shot up, no good. We get a whistle and a foul underneath. Foul is going to be on King. He picks up his first. It'll be the team 7th.
There was quite a bit of discrepancy in the foul team totals about 2 minutes ago. Suddenly they're evened up at 8-7.
And Crowder heads back to the line where he misses 2 free throws. Free throw on the way is good. Crowder with his 3rd point of the ball game. Makes it 23-6. North with a 17-point edge.
Minute 16 into the second quarter. Central with 6 points, looking for 7.
Free throw rattles in. So a 23-7 margin in favor of North. Central tries a little bit of pressure here. Goes easily into the front court. Will get a reach in on Central Hardin. Foul's going to be on Kerr. He picks up his second. So Goza will head to the line where he's 3 of 4. Goza with 14 points. Free throws in the air. No good. Hopkins tips it up. And the rebound collected by North Hardin. King, 10-footer on the way, in and out, no good. Rebound comes down to Crowder. Quickly ahead, Barnes will put up a three-pointer. That is an air ball. Rebound to Thomas for North.
Quick three, and he's open, but ball's well long off the glass.
Into the front court, North with it. Thomas out front. Pass deflected. Hopkins able to make the rescue. Now kicks it back to King. 6:04 to go here in the first half. North up 23-7.
Does a good job there. Holds it for a couple of seconds. Let everybody get their place, get back organized.
Down low, ball gets knocked away, picked up by Crowder. Kerr brings it up the floor, back to Barnes. Inside, 15-footer on the way is good.
Basket by Barnes.
Barnes with his first points of the ball game. 23-9. North to within 4, or Central within 14. Goza backs away from traffic. Crowder chasing him every step of the way. Tries to force up the shot, no good. Hopkins in the paint, puts it up and gets the roll.
One power dribble, takes himself right to the front of the rim. Nice move.
25-9. North back up 16. Kerr with a basketball. Back to Squires, down in the corner. Crowder drives the baseline, off the glass and in, and draws the foul.
Basket good.
Crowder with his 6th point of the ball game.
Foul on number 32. Johnny Hopkins, his first.
Foul on Hopkins will be his first.
To the one, number 35, Alex Crowder. And in the game, number 23, TJ Gordon.
Gordon back in the lineup for John Hardin.
Nearly 11 minutes into the ball game, Lee, and Central just now getting to double digits. North's defense has been superb.
Crowder to try the three-point play and knocks it down. So after missing 2 free throws, Crowder's hit 3 in a row. 25-12 the score. Full court pressure. King, though, able to bring the ball in the front court. Here's Rashid looking down low. Pass is picked off by Glenn. Squires caught the double team. Looking to get it somewhere. We get a whistle and a foul on North Hardin. Foul's going to be on Malik Thomas.
Coach Bever's going to take a timeout right here.
First timeout by North Hardin.
I think he thinks his guys are getting a little bit sloppy right now. Wants to settle things back down and get back to the way things ran that first quarter. They haven't been quite as efficient, quite as effective here in the second quarter.
4 minutes, 50 seconds left to go here in the first half. North Hardin with a 25-12 lead on Central Hardin. Winner of this game gets John Hardin in the district championship game Friday night that you'll see on Channel 1 and HCEC-TV. John advanced with a 62-60 win over Elizabethtown. And that one went down to the wire. E-Town had a chance to win it with a three-pointer, could not get it to go. And the Bulldogs advance on.
And they got to look top of the key right at the end of regulation. Could have won the ball game if it had fell. Central Hardin right here. This is fitting the theme of the previous 2 games, isn't it, Lee? You know, they're down 18 just a minute ago, and now they've got it back down to 13 going to the line. They've dug themselves a hole. Can you come out of that hole and get yourself back in the ball game? It's one of those slow uphill battles, though. You're not going to get it all back at once. I thought Barnes shot a quick 3 a minute ago. Get it back a basket or 2 at a time. Get yourself to the line right now is being effective for him.
Squires' first point of the ball game, misses the second free throw. And North comes down with the basketball. 4:45 left to go. Ball knocked out of bounds. It'll stay with the Trojans.
If Troy Squires could get unleashed a little bit offensively, it'd really help Central Hardin's cause. I think I mentioned it earlier. The 2 games that the regular season, he had 49 points against North Hardin.
Goza with the basketball. Out front, King takes it. Thomas back to King. Thomas brings it back out. King with it. Goza. King directs traffic. Now Thomas. Goza drives past Glenn. Gets the basket, puts it up and in.
Defensively, somebody's got to cut that off. When he beats the initial defender, you can't just come to help. You have to get there and cut him off, make him pick that ball up earlier.
16 for Goza, 27-13.
Give Goza credit, though, Lee. He keeps that dribble alive until somebody makes him pick it up, and when they do, he's right at the basket.
And a turnover by Central Hardin. As that one again got through Squires' hands. And now a conversation by the men in stripes.
Trying to decide if there was deflection or if it was an over and back. They're going to agree it was an over and back.
So the ball goes to North Hardin with 4:02 remaining here in the half. 27-13 is the score. Goes over the basketball. Here's King with it. King drives the basket, whistle and a foul on North Hardin.
A lot of steps right there. He picked that thing up early. You're going to call the travel on the far side.
Turnover will allow substitution. Matt Whitehouse, number 34, a 6'4" junior, checks into the lineup. Gordon sits down. Under 4 minutes remaining here in the first half. North has never trailed in this ballgame after scoring 6 in a row to start the game. Crowder, Squires, Barnes, back to Squires. Crowder in the corner, he'll try a three-pointer that's short. Rebound tipped up in the air. Crowder gets his own miss, goes to the basket, up and in.
Good hustle, way to stick with it and follow up your shot. I think King might have got a little piece of the initial three-pointer, but Crowder follows his shot, which is what you're taught to do from a young age.
And Central comes up with the basketball. Try to look inside to Crowder, goes out of bounds. It'll go back to North Hardin.
Central had opportunity there, got a steal and we're pushing.
It will be North Hardin basketball. Goes in the front court with 3:10 remaining in this first half. Directs traffic. Thomas with it, down low, ball batted away. Here's the jumper by Rashid, doesn't go. Rebound Whitehouse for Central Hardin.
Crowder followed his shot last time, ended up getting a layup. Rashid falls away. If he followed that shot, I think he gets that rebound.
Under 3 minutes remaining here in the first half. Crowder with the basketball, left side. Back over to Barnes. Barnes, here's Glenn, turnaround jumper, got it.
10-point ball game. Central hanging, coming back and hanging along the edge of the game.
4 points for Glenn. Headed to 2.5 minutes remaining. Gosa drives down the lane and is fouled. It's going to be Crowder picking up his second. That'll be the team 10th. So Ruben Goza heads back to the line where he's 3 of 4 on the night. 16 points in this ball game. First of 2 upcoming. Knocks down for point number 17. TJ Gordon back in for Central Hardin. 28-17 the score. Another free throw upcoming. This one goes through.
Goza looking good at the line there.
Made 5 in a row.
1-3-1 here. Coach Bevers has called for 3. Khalil Rashid will come out really high on this 1-3-1.
12-point lead for North. Barnes takes it from Squires. Back to Squires. Barnes with it. He'll launch a three-pointer. That is good.
Single digits. Central Hardin making a move.
5 for Barnes. Brings it to within 9. Coming down to 2 minutes to go until halftime. King, though, gets a little hook shot up and in.
That's a strong move with a couple defenders closing fast.
9 points for King in the ball game. 31-20. North goes back to double digits. Here's Whitehouse backs in. And we get a foul on the floor against North.
Hopkins.
That'll be his second. And the team 10th, which means both teams now shooting 2 free throws for the final minute 52. Matt Whitehouse, a 6'4" junior, steps to the line. First free throw is good.
Number 41, Draper.
Jeremiah Draper checks back in for North Hardin. Second attempt is good. So again, back to a 9-point lead for North. Central with his own press, but goes easily into the front court. Minute 42 left to go. Goes at the free throw stripe. Hands the ball off to Thomas. King lobs it over to Goza. Thomas. Glenn tried to go for the steal. King, cross-court pass, finds Goza. Down to a minute 24 left to go here in the half.
Possession's been all on the perimeter for North Hardin. Not able to get much penetration inside the arc.
King with it. Back to Thomas. Out front to King. Now Goza with a minute 11 remaining. Goza tries to drive the baseline, and they're going to get him for a charge.
Give Glenn some credit over there. Moved his feet defensively.
Goza will pick up his second foul. 1:09 remaining in the quarter. Central Hardin to cut into the deficit even further if they can knock down a basket here.
Tell you what, you go in down here and anything under double digits would be a good way to end the half. But if you can cut it down a little bit more.
Whitehouse goes and gets his own miss, and with a reverse layup.
That's a nifty little move to get to the other side of the basket, take the defense out of play.
Under a minute remaining in the half. Central as close as they've been in a long time.
Momentum definitely has shifted. Central Hardin able to pick up the defensive pressure here in this quarter. And defensively at half court, they've been able to play different because Landry's been on the bench to foul trouble. North does not have a block offensive threat down inside right now.
Central hasn't been this close since 8-2. 37 seconds remaining in the quarter.
Now, Coach Wright's going to be able to take his group regardless of what happens here the last couple of possessions. This may be the last one if North holds it for the end. But Coach Wright can take his group to the locker room with some momentum and some positive things to work with.
Goza will hold it up with 21 seconds remaining. Coach Ron Bevers off screen, signaling the play he wants in. At 15 seconds, Thomas will take it.
He took Goza off the ball.
Goza back over to King at 9 seconds, down to 8. Goza, bounce pass, will launch a three-pointer. Got it.
There's a momentum swinging back North Hardin's way. Three-pointer made at the buzzer.
And takes it back to a double digit.
Guy on the far side's counting that one. Squires makes a half-court shot right at the horn. I mean, that's one of those they go to replay everywhere else. Unless they find a way to get the video from the truck in here, they're going to count that basket.
And Squires' three, just as North had taken it back to double digits. Squires answers with a three at the half. And it's 34-27, North Hardin over Central Hardin.
What a finish to the half, Lee. What a finish.
Thanks to the sponsors making possible coverage of this ball game. Brandenburg Telecom, Physical Therapy Associates, E-Town Exterminating, Bluegrass Cellular, eTownApartments.com by Mark Harris Construction, and West Point Bank. Hardin County Educational and Community Television is a division of Hardin County Schools that's seen on Comcast Cable Channel 2 in Elizabethtown, Vine Grove, and Hardin County, and Insight Cable Channel 25 in Radcliffe. Our coverage of the District High School Basketball Tournament continues in just a few minutes.
John Hardin Hospitality Group would like to thank the following sponsors: Before Brands, Revenue, JHSS, HCEC-TV, Subway, and McAllister.
This is a Hardin County educational and community television student production. HCEC-TV is a division of Hardin County Schools. Live Channel 1 programming is sponsored in part by Brandenburg Telecom, providing service for all your telecommunication needs.
There are certain things that we are glad are only found halfway across the world, like lions, sandstorms, and volcanoes. Customer service, though, it's nice to have that close to home. Brandenburg Telephone Company and Brandenburg Telecom. We connect you to the world, all at the speed of local. You're local. We figure we should be local, too.
At Physical Therapy Associates, we treat a wide variety of injuries and disorders. Our specialties include orthopedics, back and neck pain, pre- and post-operative rehabilitation, sports medicine, work-related injuries, motor vehicle injuries, and diabetic neuropathy treatment. We also use kinesiotaping techniques and are a certified ASTEM provider. PTA is locally owned and operated by Guy Wallace with offices in Elizabethtown, Radcliffe, Hodgenville, Bardstown, and South Louisville. You can also visit our website at physicaltherapyky.com. Physical Therapy Associates, more personal attention for more effective results.
At West Point Bank, we're proud to serve the community that you call home because we call it home too. We strive to provide excellent customer service, competitive products, and contribute to our community.
We are honored to contribute to Hardin County Schools and support its students because they are the future of our community. To our high school sports teams, good luck and best wishes for a successful season.
Hardin County, join us in supporting our students. We wish them the greatest success.
Hey, Elizabethtown, need a new pad? Hop on over to eTownApartments.com or call 268-RENT for all your rental needs. Look for our trucks, they're all over town. We have apartments, townhomes, duplexes, and houses. Remember to hop on over to eTownApartments.com or call 268-RENT for all your rental needs.
There's a place that feels more connected, where life is more agreeable, more reliable, and more delightful every day. Where there's a blissful feeling of satisfaction with your wireless phone, your plan, and most of all, your service. It's the state of Bluephoria, and you can only get there by way of Bluegrass Cellular. Welcome to Bluephoria.
E-Town Exterminating, 737-6900. Also online at mugabug.com. On behalf of HCEC-TV, we would like to thank all of our sponsors.
Welcome back to Bulldog Gymnasium on the campus of John Hardin High School, where we're at halftime of a semifinal game of the boys 17th District High School basketball tournament. Score at the bottom of your screen. North Hardin ran out to a 6-0 lead, then used a 12-0 run to go up 18-2. They would take that 16-point margin into the end of the first quarter, 21-5, led by as many as 18 of the ball game at 23-5. But then Central Hardin began chipping their way back into this ball game, got it down to single digits for the first time at 29-20. The lead went back and forth from there. Central got it down to 7. Gosa hit a 3 late in the quarter, but then Troy Squires, a mid-court shot as time expired. Officials counted it, and that takes the margin to 7 at 34-27. Quick look at the first half scoring for North Hardin. Ruben Gosa with 21 points to lead all scoring in the ball game. It's 9 in the ball game to Tyron King. 2 points each to Khalil Rashid and Johnny Hopkins. For Central Hardin, they're being led in scoring right now by Alex Crowder. He has 9 points in the first half. It's 5 points to Jacob Barnes coming off the bench. 4 points each to Matt Whitehouse and Troy Squires. 1 point in the ball game to Tyler McCullough. Hugh O'Brien has a look at some of the first half stats.
Yeah, the bang-bang finish to the first half. Gosa with 21. That's a huge half. He knocks down to 3. And you think North steals the momentum back. Squires with the half quarter to answer it. So that was huge. Central Hardin for the first half. You look at the shooting percentage, right around 41%. They make 9 of 22, 2 of 8 on the threes, including the half quarter. 7 of 11 from the line. North also 7 of 11 from the line. They make 3 of their 8 three-pointers. The one at the end by Gosa being the last. They shoot 44% at 12 of 27. Turnovers are even at 9. North strong on the boards with a 21-12 advantage. You look down at the quarters, though, Lee, and Central Hardin awoke from a slumber, a 5-point first quarter, and then they pop out and shoot into a 22-point second quarter to squeeze their way back into a ball game.
Chipping their way back in, also taking advantage of some foul trouble on the part of North Hardin as Tyler Landry went to the bench with 2 fouls. Lewis also with 2. Hopkins and Gosa each with 2 for North Hardin. Across the way, Kerr, Crowder, and Gordon have 2. McCullough has 3 for Central Hardin.
Central defensively, Lee, is going to really need to focus, and they got the same stat sheet we did. They're going to need to focus on trying to slow Goza down. He's gotten everywhere he wanted to get. When he's driven to the basket, he's gotten deep. When he's been out there on the perimeter, he's looked for open looks. He hasn't really forced anything. He's been so effective offensively in the first half. If you can slow him down, perhaps you can keep North Hardin slowed down, and you keep your little offensive spurt you had in the second quarter going.
It will be Central basketball to begin the third quarter. Winner of this one will get John Hardin. The Bulldogs holding on to defeat Elizabethtown 62-60 in the first semifinal game. Who will fill the other half of the bracket? Cody Elmore had to leave the game, had an ice pack on his shoulder, had to leave early in the ball game, is back in. Hands the ball off to Kerr, and we're underway here at John. Squires hit that big three right before halftime. Here's McCullough, has the ball knocked away, gets it back. Kerr, Squires back to Kerr. Kerr hands the ball off to Alex Crowder. Elmore comes out and takes the basketball. Kerr with it. Lewis is guarding him. Now McCullough to Elmore. Elmore back out front. Squires takes it. McCullough against the double team. Turnaround jumper too strong. Rebound will come down to Nick Lewis. Here's Goza. He'll drive the basket. Little runner too strong. And Squires with a rebound.
Maybe the first good open look that he had made.
Into the front court. Elmore has it knocked away, picked up by King. King with the ball knocked away. Squires comes up with it.
Tip out both sides defensively.
Squires banks it off the glass.
That half-court shot may have got his energy level up on the offensive end. He was awful quiet for most of the first half.
And it brings Central to within 5, 6:47 to go in the third quarter.
When they were down 18, I'm not sure we were going to see them within 5, but you got to commend them for the comeback.
Here's King with it, thought about the three-pointer. Lewis from the corner thinks better of it. Now Goza will bring it back out front. 6:33 left in the third.
Central's gone 2-3 zone right here.
Goza with the basketball. Now back to Lewis out front. King, Lewis goes up, launches a three-pointer, picks up where he left off.
Well, Squires closed on him pretty good. Contested a little bit, got a hand in the face, but Goza's still hot.
24 now for Goza. 37-29 the score. 6:08 remaining in the third quarter. Kerr to Squires. They'll lob it down low. Gets away from Crowder, but will stay with Central Hardin.
Yeah, they need to Central keep that ball. Looked like Crowder got hit pretty good as he tries to catch the pass. Could have been a foul call.
Quick update from Lexington early second half. Kentucky up on Vanderbilt 44-34.
Kentucky with the 10-point lead there, trying to get the win at home.
Crowder inside, trying to rally from the 8-point deficit. Gets inside, puts it up and in.
Crowder leading scorer in the first half. Central Hardin with 9. There's another one pushes him into double digits.
Takes it to a 6-point margin. And a whistle and a foul on Central. Crowder picks up the foul.
Crowder's going to get the foul, and actually after the initial contact, he gets the worse for wear there as he takes a shot up around the chin.
Picks up his third foul, the team first. 5:49 remaining here in the third. Rashid will inbounds the ball to Goza. Across the time stripe. Central in the 2-3 zone with 5:40 left to go here in the third. Down in the corner, Lewis with it. Landry calling for it, brings it back to Goza though. Lewis lobs it to Landry, will get a whistle and a foul on McCullough.
McCullough's fourth foul, trying to push him off the block. Can't put that forearm in the back. He puts it in the back to try to shove him off the block.
Dylan Glenn will check back into the ball game for Central Hardin.
McCullough been in foul trouble all night, hadn't had a lot of floor time.
King to inbounds for North. Bullet pass to Goza, who has to back away. Now Rashid comes out to take it. Now Landry fires over. 15-footer on the way. Good by King.
King had a good first half also. He had 9 points in the first half, so he's now in double digits to join Goza's big night.
39-31. 5:11 left to go here in the third quarter. Squires with the basketball. They're double teaming him. Glenn kicks it out to Kerr. Crowder down in the corner. Elmore, 3 on the way. Got it.
Back to a 5-point ball game. 5 minutes to go in the third.
Into the front court. King maintains his possession. Nice look inside. Landry puts the shot up and in. That's his first point of the ball game. Although not meeting with the approval from the Central Partisans, who thought that he should have been called for a charge. Back to the 7-point margin, 4:37 left in the third. Squires with the basketball for Central Hardin. Ball slapped away by Rashid.
Squires they don't call the foul there. Troy took a big bump from Rashid right there.
And then they call Rashid in the backcourt for his second.
And I think there was a bigger foul on the initial deflection right there as he came across the body of Troy Squires.
Inbounds, Central Hardin with 4:29 remaining in the third. And North coming out to challenge this one a little bit. Kerr to Crowder. Here's Elmore, cut off by Rashid. Crowder bluffs the three, now goes in the paint. Little reverse layup doesn't go. They will call the foul on the floor.
That's King trying to body him right there.
He his second, the team's second. Colin foul inbounds by Central, 4:14 to go. Glenn takes a spill to the floor as Crowder gets the ball to Glenn, spins, puts it up, shot blocked by Landry.
He blocked it and rebounded it. Good job of keeping it in play and gaining possession.
Lewis down low to Landry. They'll kick it over to Goza. Three-pointer is on the way, front of the rim, and Elmore gets the rebound.
It's a little bit short because Crowder comes out to challenge.
Here is Squires driving down the lane. They're running right at Landry and put it up and in.
Troy extends a little bit. Get a leg out in front of you so that Landry can't get up and into his body for the block. Nice move offensively going to the hole.
Back to a 5-point lead for North. Lewis down the lane, puts it up and in.
Defense all leans to Landry. He thinks Lewis is going to pass that ball. Lane opened up really wide. He takes it all the way to the rim.
First points for Lewis. Back to a 7-point margin. This one is ping pong between 5 and 7 for the last few minutes. Crowder with a three on the way, got it.
Central loosening up the strings right now, shooting the ball well from the outside. A couple threes out of this far right-hand corner.
43-39 the score. 3:13 remaining in the third. Gozer with the basketball. Now caught. Gets it back to Rashid. Rashid to Goza. Down in the corner, Lewis will try and answer with a three. No good. Landry had a handle on it. Rashid couldn't get it to go. The rebound comes down to Kerr.
It's a bad miss. He's really not challenged right there, and he's point blank at the rim.
Kerr lays it up, and on the follow is Glenn. 6 for Glenn. Central within 2. North Hardin takes a timeout.
11 minutes into the ball game, Lee. I wasn't sure we were having a ball game at all. North had ran out to that 23-5, 18-point lead. Another 11, 12 minutes into the ball game. Central's down a basket. What a comeback, what an effort. You know Coach Wright's kids play hard, but this has been a supreme effort, and then the execution's gotten better. You knock down a couple shots, you start feeling a little bit better about yourself. They've been able to squeeze their way back, and all of a sudden, we got ourselves a heck of a ball game in the second one of the evening.
43-41 the score, 2:48 remaining in the third quarter. As Central Hardin rallying back from that 18-point deficit early in the second. Has trimmed it down to 2, and they're a bit more aggressive. They're attacking. They're going right at Landry, see if they can draw that foul.
Success breeds confidence, and as they've had a little bit of offensive success, their confidence level has grown and grown.
Goes into the front court. Now gets the ball to Rashid and an over and back call.
It's Goza's fault. He admits to it. He taps himself and says, that's on me. He threw a pass to a guy who's not legal, not into the front court.
Central Hardin with a chance to tie or take the lead in this possession. 2:35 left to go in the third quarter. Crowder knocked down a three a moment ago. Drives on King, has it knocked out of his hands. It'll stay with Central.
The swings in this ball game are amazing.
Elmore to inbounds for Central. Brings it in underneath. Crowder with a shot, gets his own miss, rejected by Landry. Now Goza running the other way. Takes it up over Squires, doesn't get it to go. Tipped up, rebound comes down to Elmore.
Rashid missed a layup last trip for North, and then right there's a missed layup for Central. Both of them have given one back.
Squires kicks it out front. Elmore with it. Kick corner, Crowder, a three for the lead is short. Rebound though, ball goes out of bounds. It'll go to North Hardin.
Boy, he fell down, but I thought they got their feet tangled. Could have been a call possibly on a trip, but no such luck for Central Hardin to be North's ball in the inline.
Number 12, Kerr.
Kerr will check in, Crowder sits down. 2:05 left to go here in the third.
Coach Wright won't give him much of a blow. This is get a drink, catch your breath. He'll be back to the table short.
Gozer with the basketball for North. Into the front court. Lewis with it. Lewis will bring it back out. Under 2 minutes remaining here in the third. Lewis off to Landry. Back to Goza. Goza inside. Has the ball knocked away. Scramble to the floor. It'll be a timeout.
Troy takes a timeout. Well aware of the situation. Before he can get tied up, he values the possession. They're only down a basket. They want to keep the ball.
They'll take a 30-second timeout with 1:43 remaining. So this would be possession number 3. Central has had a chance to tie or take the lead. 43-41 is the score. Central at one point down 23-5 early in the second quarter, but has chipped away in this ball game and has it down to a 2-point deficit.
They've willed their way back into this one, Lee. Just through sheer hard work and effort, and that hard work and effort has turned into a little bit more production.
It'll be Central's basketball to bring the length of the floor. North challenging as Lewis with Kerr.
You know, all three, this is the third game between these two teams this season, and they've all had that same kind of thing. North's run out to a lead, and Central's charged back.
Squires for the lead, back of the rim. Landry gets the rebound.
This set play out of the 30-second timeout to get Troy the look.
Goes up, angles to the left side with 1:19 remaining in the quarter. Now King directs traffic. King works to the right, back to Goza. Now here's Rashid, gets inside, dishes down low to Landry, puts it up, missed it. Rashid tries to tip, gets his own miss, back up and in.
They missed a couple chippies right there, but Rashid stays with it, gets the layup.
4 for Rashid, 45-41. Here is Barnes, it gets away from him, and back to North.
They catch the ball with two hands. That one hand up in the air, and then the ball gets deflected. It's hard to gather it back in.
Gordon will check back into the ball game. And again, think about it. 3 possessions Central had to either tie or take the lead. Could not cash in.
North weathered that little storm.
Lewis, when we're under a minute to go here in the quarter. Goza gets it to Rashid, back to Goza. To the right side, now Lewis comes out to take it for 36 seconds. King with the basketball, Lewis with it. Now it's Landry. Landry passes deflected, picked up by Squires. Here's Squires, dishes off to Gordon, goes up, can't get the shot to go.
Looks like Squires left him pretty good. Gordon can't finish.
And now North will reset with 13 seconds remaining. Lewis at 10 seconds. Starts into the offense, cuts down the lane, puts it up, no good. Landry with a miss, back up and in, and will head to the line.
Ball falls off the rim, but with 2.6 left, Landry's going to get a couple free throws.
Foul is going to be on Dylan Glenn, his first.
Tyler Landry, 66% on the season from the line. Shot a lot of free throws, 88 of 133.
Only with 2 points in this ball game. Misses the first one. One more attempt on the way here. Second free throw by Landry. This one is good. All 3 of his points here in the quarter, 46-41. With 2 seconds left, Squires will put another one up, this one off the top of the backboard.
What's the odds of him making 2 50-footers in a game? He gives that one up on the rim, gets it up on the backboard again, but not near as pure as the one in the first half.
46-41. North Hardin will take a 5-point lead into the final quarter of play, thanks to the sponsors making possible coverage of this ball game. Brandenburg Telecom, Physical Therapy Associates, E-Town Exterminating, Bluegrass Cellular, ETownApartments.com by Mark Harris Construction, and by West Point Bank. It is Ruben Goza with 24 points to lead North Hardin scoring across the way. It is Alex Crowder with 14 to pace Central Hardin.
And North gets 12 points that quarter. Central gets 14. They've whittled a couple points off what was a 7-point halftime deficit. We got a 5-point ball game.
Winner of this one gets John Hardin, who defeated Elizabethtown earlier tonight 62-60. North Hardin basketball to begin the fourth quarter, up 5. Here at Bulldog Gymnasium on the campus of John Hardin High School, 46-41, North Hardin with a 5-point lead. Rashid inbounds the ball to Goza. Across the time stripe, Goza.
Central been 2-3. Majority of the third quarter starts this half 1-3-1. We got an offensive foul down inside?
I believe so. They'll get it on Nick Lewis. Picks up his third.
Well away from the action.
So Central basketball, 7:48 left to go in this one.
Forfeit that first possession of the fourth quarter with a foul way off of the ball.
Kerr into the front court for Central Hardin, hands it off to Crowder. Crowder to Kerr. Crowder looking, directs traffic. Waits for Squires, now drives down the lane, scoops it up off the glass, can't get it to go. Rebound to the floor, picked up by Central. Here's Squires down the lane, has it knocked away, picked up by Lewis. Lewis waiting for traffic to clear, now caught in a double team, the jump ball, and the alternating possession, and a technical against Lewis.
Action after the whistle. When the whistle blows, you got to stop action. He does not. Pretty easy call. It's right in front of the official.
Well, now a conversation among the officials.
Well, as to if it was up top and what kind of action was made there. It looked like just a throw off with the arms.
Lewis, either way, it's his fourth foul.
Yeah, not real composed right there. Once the whistle blows, there's no need to wrestle for the basketball.
As now the conversation continues. Not sure what the discussion would be here.
He's going to pick up the tee. Should be his fourth foul.
It's a jump ball, which would have gone to Central. You have a technical foul after the jump ball. Now the official will go over to explain it to Coach Ron Bevers.
If I've got this right, Lee, what will happen? There was a jump ball call, but all of this is going to overrun that. The technical foul is going to give Central a couple of free throws. All technicals are a two-shot free throw now. And Central will get possession after the technical foul. I think the arrow is going to remain the same.
Although J.C. Wright is not happy with the explanation.
He's not real pleased with this, but I really think they're getting a couple free throws and maybe the basketball. Yeah, J.C. thinks he should be ejected. I think that's his argument is well after the whistle and the action involved.
So Squires will head to the line to try to knock down the two technical free throws. Knocks down the first one.
Well, they're going to get two free throws and the ball, and I think the possession arrow will stay the same. All of this supersedes the initial jump ball call.
Squires misses the second free throw.
Troy needs to stay in there on that, leaned out of that one just a little.
46-42, 7:13 left to go.
Central's basketball on the side. Coach Bever's wondering if the arrow should change, but the referee, I think, told them it should not change. That jump ball call, technically, after all the other stuff, did not happen.
And Coach Bever's trying to plead the case here. Coach J.C. Wright about 6 feet away listening to that conversation.
Well, and if you think about it, Lee, and you kind of have to play through it, the arrow, Central never got possession from the jump ball call. They got possession because of the rule behind a technical you get possession. They never gained their right to that jump ball and possession arrow.
So with that being the case, and Coach Bever still pleading the case here.
The referee on the far side is going to put us back in play.
46-42 now the score.
Approaching 7 minutes in the game.
Kerr to Crowder. Crowder, Squires, three-pointer on the way, in and out, no good. But the rebound, Glenn. Down in the corner, Elmore tries a three-pointer, doesn't go. Lewis with a rebound. Into the front court, Goza with it.
Glenn and Rasheed working for that position up there around the foul line, the elbow.
Now King takes it, lost the handle.
It's going to be over. He needs to pick that up.
And finally, we get a jump ball. No, I thought it was going to be a jump ball, scramble, and we'll get a foul on North Hardin.
Now King makes a mistake there. You pick that basketball up and take the over and back call because it allows all 5 of your defenders to get established. You don't pick it up and let Central pick it up. They've got a numbers game right there. You take the turnover just to let your defense get set.
Goza will pick up the foul, which will be his 3rd. It's the team 5th against North. 6:22 left to go in this ball game. North with a 4-point lead. Central with the basketball. Kerr launches a 3-pointer that's no good. Rasheed with a rebound. Ball goes to floor. Scramble. Will get a jump ball. This time the alternating possession should go to North. And Goza has to step in to calm Rasheed down.
I think Rasheed did a good job. When the whistle blew, he let go of the ball. Once the whistle blows, the call's been made. He's just stepping away from it. Teammate comes over to remind him, but I think he's doing a good job there. He's walking away from that the whole time.
6:11 left to go. The alternating possession will finally switch back to North, as Elmore will inbounds it for Central Hardin. Elmore looking, brings it in. We get a whistle and a foul.
Moving screen, Glenn.
Will pick up his 2nd.
He got the ball inbounds easy down there on the block. That's because the pick slides over to take the defender out of the play.
Crowder will check in. Elmore sits down. 6:11 left to go in this ball game. And now you see a little bit why Central, as Lewis on the inbound, got that number 3 seed, as they are a team that will just simply battle every inch of the way. King gets a look inside, puts it off the glass, can't get it to go, can't get the tip to go. And on the 3rd effort, up and in.
Central's got to find a way to get in there and get some possession. You can't give the same guy 3 shots off the block.
48-42. Under 6 minutes remaining in this ball game. Squires with the basketball. Drives, gets past Landry, lays it up off the glass and in.
Good use of the left hand right there. That's about the only way he's going to get that shot in the air.
The 11 for Squires. And a timeout, Central Hardin, with 5:38 remaining in the ball game. Central will have 2 timeouts remaining. And again, Central Hardin just hanging around the edge of this ball game.
They're right there, 5.5 to go, Lee. Yeah, 2 possessions. 2 possessions, pretty easy. Get a basket, get a stop, get a basket, and you're right there.
48-44 is the score. North Hardin led by as many as 18. But Central has fought their way back in. Had a chance on a couple of possessions late in the 3rd quarter to either tie or take the lead. North was able to get themselves some breathing room, and right now has it at a 48-44 lead.
Well, we've had 2 games where all 4 teams tonight, Lee, have played their heart out. I mean, you have not seen anybody not going hard tonight. You can tell it's tournament time. There hasn't been anybody jogging anywhere.
This is what you expect from the semifinals. We said it at the onset of both telecasts tonight. There are several dates you mark down every year on the local high school basketball calendar, and district semifinals is one of them.
Semifinals probably the most exciting night of basketball because you're getting a doubleheader. Regardless of seed, those top 4 are pretty evenly matched. More likely than not, you're getting 2 good games, and that's what we're getting here.
5.5 minutes left to go in regulation. North Hardin with the 4-point lead in the basketball. Goza being guarded by Squires. Circles the floor. Now stretches it out. Goes on the drive. Again with the 4-point lead. North being judicious here. Goza directing traffic. Now kicks it over to Lewis. They'll back it away under 5 minutes left to go in regulation. And the ball taken away by Squires. And Lewis with a bump. And Nick Lewis is done for the night.
Not necessarily a lazy pass, but a poor execution of a pass by Nick Lewis there. Troy does a good job. Squires gets a hand on that pass, picks it off, and really gets him off balance and plays him into his hip. Troy drew that foul as much as Lewis fouled him.
Into the game, number 10, Malik Thomas.
Malik Thomas will come into the ball game as Lewis heads into the bench with nearly 5 minutes to go in this one. And a 5-second call. North ramps up the defense.
Well, got to get the ball in bounds right there. That's a tough turnover. Tough one to take at this point in the ball game.
Goza back to Rashid. Bringing it up the floor. 4:47 left to go in this ball game. Goza, bounce pass. Landry with it. Goza takes it back. Now King with it. King lobs it in. Rashid lost the handle, picked up by Central Hardin.
A little bit of a bad pass, just a shade out of his reach. He never did get both hands on it to catch it.
Crowder drives on Rashid, goes up over Landry. Shot doesn't go. North the other way. Thomas running against Kerr. Can't get the shot to go.
That's not a very good shot right there. Off balance, 1-on-2.
4 minutes, 10 seconds remaining in this ball game. Squires with it, drives past Landry, shot blocked.
Great defense right there. Timed him out really well. Tyler Landry playing some super D.
Now Gozer floater in the lane is good.
Gozer been quiet a little bit, but right there, gets down in the lane, deep in the lane again. He's in the upper 20s now.
Make it 26 in this one, 50-44. And we'll get a reach-in foul on Thomas for North Hardin.
They're bonusing right now. Kerr will go to the line for the 1-and-1.
That'll be Thomas's second, the team's seventh.
Foul number 10.
And Andy Kerr will head to the line. Has not scored in the ball game.
Number 12, Kerr.
Steps up with 3:45 remaining in this ball game. North Hardin with a 6-point lead. Free throw is good. Kerr's first point of the night.
We saw Kerr have a big night. It was at Elizabethtown, wasn't it? Came off the bench and played really well. Got a lot of points that night.
In that first Elizabethtown game early in the season.
Big offensive spark.
Second free throw on the way. Kerr knocks it down. Back to a 4-point game at 50-46. Goza into the front court. Still holding the basketball. Kerr guarding him. They'll bring it to Landry. Cross-court pass. King with it.
You could anticipate that. Landry throws that diagonal pass about 80% of the time when he catches it just outside the block.
Goza on the drive will get a foul on Kerr as he picks up his third.
Not the bonus yet for North Hardin.
Well, the next foul will be bonus situation. 3:22 left to go in this one. North's lead at 4. Goza drives on Kerr, will back it away. North has had an answer every time Central has made a move in this game, especially here in the second half.
There it is, that diagonal pass again. If somebody from Central would play that a little bit, you could pick that off and go the other way.
But Goza with a runner at the other end, puts it in. 52-46. 28 now for Goza in the ball game. Under 3 minutes left to go. Kerr, Crowder, gets past Goza, puts the shot up and in, won't count. I believe they'll whistle charge.
Boy, that's a tough call on them right there. That goes the other way. He's on the line looking for 3. Instead, they wave off the basket. Central's still down 6.
And Crowder picks up his 4th personal. With 2:38 remaining. They did signal foul, didn't they?
I really thought Squires driving to the basket and it was a charge call, yeah. They didn't put it on the board. But they had 5 team fouls, so that would have been the 6th. This one's going to the 7th, and now we're at the line. Both teams shooting the bonus.
So apparently, don't see how they could.
I think it was a charge on Squires.
But still no call, no signal.
Yeah, it didn't get on the board there to help us out.
Kerr picks up his 4th foul as King hits the free throw.
King's having a nice offensive night for North Hardin. He's been Gosa's kind of supplement.
14 points in the ball game. North stretches it out to a 7-point lead.
Yeah, he's really been the other end of the offense. Gosa with 26, him with 14. They got 40 of the 53.
Missed the free throw as Crowder goes and gets the rebound. Does Central Hardin have one more push in them?
They do. They need it right now. Under 2.5.
53-46. Squires being challenged by Goza. They're running it right at Landry. And another block by Central Hardin. And a technical foul, I believe, on Crowder.
Maybe Squires.
It'll be on Squires.
His third foul. So North's going to shoot 2 free throws and take the ball out at half court on the side.
2:12 left to go in this one. Free throw by Gosa is good.
Yeah, Squires drives it into traffic there, gets his shot blocked. Previous possession had gotten the bang block charge call. Charge goes against him, basket waved off. Frustration coming to the top right there.
Another free throw on the way and is good. So 20, make it now 30 in the ball game for Goza.
He's got 30, King's got 14. They've been the big part of the offense.
And more importantly for North Hardin, it's now a 9-point ball game with 2:11 remaining.
Central Hardin's been led by Crowder. I think Squires has stepped up a little bit here late in the ball game.
Thomas with a basketball. Pass is picked off by Barnes.
Bad pass gives Central another opportunity. 2 minutes.
Under 2 minutes remaining. They have been attacking at Landry, but you have to think at some point, does Central start thinking about threes?
Well, you got to take, if you get an open look, you definitely got to get the 3 in the air. The other thing you got to start thinking about is how aggressive do we want to be defensively if we can get some guys. There may be some offensive, defensive substitution. Coach Wright may start playing the foul game. If I'm going to start playing it, I'm going to start playing it early. You know, give myself a chance with some time still on the clock.
55-46, 1:52 remaining in this ball game. John Hardin will be down, or Central Hardin will be down to 1 timeout remaining. Central had cut it down to, actually had the game at 43-41 late in the third quarter. Had about 3 possessions to either tie or take the lead. Could not do it. North was able to get a couple of get a basket and a free throw, push it back out to 5. Central, the closest from that point on, was at really only, they've had it at 46-42, 48-44, 50-46. Could never close it inside of 4.
Like I said, Lee, they never quite got over the hump. They played really, really good to get back into the ball game. They got it within a couple, and they never could get that basket. Like, they had the ball 3 times with an opportunity to get it even, possibly even to take the lead. Exactly like you said, never could quite get to the top of the mountain.
And right now face a 9-point deficit with 1:52 to go as North Hardin has led this game wire to wire.
If you're ever going to put on your rally cap, that's the time to do it for Central Hardin right here, 1:48.
Kerr off the screen, Squires with it, puts a 3-pointer on the way. There's one of them.
Got a piece, back down to a 6-point ball game.
14 for Squires, 55-49, 1:37 left. King in the front court. You have to think King and Gosa would be the players you want to touch the ball.
I think so. I think those are the guys. If another guy catches it, those guys need to be moving toward it to get the ball back.
Crowder picks up his 4th foul. So now King will head back to the line where he went 1 of 2 a moment ago.
This one's going to be 1 in the bonus, but from this one on, every foul in Central Hardin, North's going to get to shoot 2 free throws.
Free throw on the way, knocks it down.
Definitely been a super compliment to Goza's big night right there. Him and King offensively carrying the load.
Another attempt upcoming for King. Missed the free throw. 56-49, 90 seconds left to go in this one. Kerr with a basketball. Barnes with it. Barnes, Squires. Now Kerr with it. Elmore calling for it.
They got to have a little more urgency to this offense right now.
Crowder looking, they're trying to find Squires, just simply nothing open. Crowder will fall away, 3-pointer on the way, no good. Rebound comes down to Rashid, and he is fouled with 1:02 left to go.
Ran a lot of clock there. I think if you don't get the open 3 and they really pressure the line, you got to go hard to the hole and take a quick 2 right there and save some time. They didn't do a very good job of conserving time on the clock there.
One minute, 2 seconds. And again, it will be Rashid heading to the line. 77% free throw shooter, but misses the free throw.
sitting on 7 right now, a 3-possession ball game, barring a 3-pointer and a foul.
One more attempt for Rashid, who has 4 points in the ball game, and making his first trips to the line.
Thought North did a great job last trip down when Central had the ball of really crowding up on the 3-point line. They pretty much surrendered the drive to the basket, but Central wasted a lot of time looking for the 3 and does not take the 2.
57-49 after the made free throw. North Hardin takes the timeout to charge the next minute 2 remaining of this ball game. North Hardin trying to hang on, advance to the district title game for the 2nd consecutive year.
You know, this one, when we get the end lead, we're going to summarize it just like we did the other one. Whoever wins it survived. I mean, both of them have been battles. They thought John Hardin survived E-Town in the first game, and whoever wins this one's going to feel the same way about it. Lucky to get out of here with a win.
As John Hardin fell behind early in this one, 6-0. Got behind as much as 18-2 in the first quarter, fell behind 23-5 in the second. North Hardin built the lead, but Central Hardin kept chipping away in this ball game. But to North's credit, they have been able to answer the bell at every turn.
Yeah, they dug themselves a heck of a hole, down 23-5, that 18-point hole. And you look back at it, if we could have just stayed close early. And JC told me that before the game. He says, we can't get in the hole. We've done that both times against them, and we can't quite get there. We've had the same kind of scenario tonight as the previous 2 games. The big hole, they fight, and they did put the effort out to get back in the ball game, but you can't quite get over the hill.
1 minute left in this one. North up 8, trying to close the deal here. Squires, Crowder, inside, pushes up the shot, and there'll be a charge on Crowder. And Alex Crowder's night is done. Crowder leaves with 14 points.
Solid ball game on his part.
Player control foul gives the ball to North underneath their own basket. As Dylan Glenn will check into the ball game with 51.6 seconds remaining. Bit of a discussion here.
He's trying to make the refs aware, but I think they were aware that that was Crowder's 5th foul.
Khalil Rashid will inbounds for North Hardin. Inside of a minute to go, double team and a foul on Gosa.
Gosa, he doesn't mind going to the line. He's shooting it well tonight.
Number 12, Andy Kerr, his 5th.
So Andy Kerr will foul out of the ball game with 2 points. 49.8 seconds remaining. Kerr leaves with the 2 free throws he made back a moment ago. As Coach J.C. Wright goes down the bench to get Justin Rouse, number 5. At the line, it'll be Goza. Has 30 points in the ball game and make it 31.
You make this one just about salted away. It'll be a 10-point lead, take 4 possessions for Central Hardin, plus some hot 3-point shooting to finish in the last inside 50 seconds.
One more for Goza. Free throw is good. So 32 for Ruben Goza and a 59-49 lead for North Hardin. 47 seconds remaining. Rouse hands the ball off to Squires. He'll put up a 3-pointer. Doesn't go. Landry comes down with the rebound and is fouled with 40.9 seconds remaining.
Looking like North's going to survive what was a furious rally by Central Hardin to get themselves back into it and make it a ball game.
Cody Elmore picks up the foul, his first. As Tyler Landry heads to the line. Knox misses the free throw. Landry only 3 points tonight.
Contributing a lot of other ways, though, Lee. I mean, he got some other stuff. You look at the point total, not doing a lot offensively, but he draws a lot of attention, opens things up for the other guys on the offensive end. He's had a handful of block shots tonight, too. Defensively, he's altered a lot.
Squires with the basketball over to Elmore. North really coming out and challenging now, knowing that they need the three. Here's
Yeah.
Squires driving, lays it up and in.
Yeah, they're guarding the three-point line. You know, anything inside, take it and drive. Go ahead, guys, and we'll just let the clock run a little bit. Other than that, we're just going to crowd you and not let you shoot an open three.
16 for Squires. Makes it 59-51 with 26.3 seconds left to go in the ball game. So North Hardin built the big lead early and will hold on here and will play John Hardin.
Friday night, 6:30 tip?
Believe so. And we'll have that game for you on Channel 1 and HCEC-TV. Two varying games played in the season between North and John. The first game here very early on in the season, a decisive victory for John Hardin. At one point, very close actually, and led by as many as 34 in that game.
Yeah, they pushed up against running clock in that one.
North able to come back, close it down a little bit. Meanwhile, the second game, a much different story as North slowed it down a little bit. Davion Green, I think, injured his shoulder, but still, John got the victory.
Yeah, North is challenged to come on the road. You know, they played better in that second matchup, but it was in their gym, and you always play a little bit better at home. John here trying to defend the home court and go for a second district championship in a row there, and yeah, you got to kind of figure they're going to come out ready to go.
3 minutes left to go in Lexington. Kentucky's lead over Vanderbilt at 5, 64-59. Here, 22 seconds remaining. North's lead over Central, 59-51. And Tyron King will be headed back to the line.
And he's crowding up on a 20-point night.
Foul is on Dylan Glenn, will be his third. King with 15 in this ball game. Of course, the big night belonging to Ruben Gosa.
Well, Ruben Gosa, you know, he's pushing up on the career night. That's a heck of a night. Shot the ball well, too. His percentage hadn't taken just a ton of shots to get those points. His percentage has been good.
32 for Gosa on the night. King still at 15 with 21.8 seconds left to go. Second free throw is no good. Rouse into the front court under 20 seconds remaining. Gives the ball off to Barnes, who puts up a three-pointer that is no good. That one rattled around. Gosa pulls it down with 10 seconds and is fouled. He'll head to the line with 9.9 seconds remaining. Glenn will pick up his fourth.
Gosa got more than half the team's points tonight.
Steps up with 9.9 seconds remaining. A 32-point night. And looking to add to that as Coach J.C. Wright
reaching deep into that bench, get some guys in the book here. Let them, they can say they've gotten the district tournament game this year.
First free throw by Gosa is good. 33 points.
Number 10, Evan Payne.
Evan Payne into the lineup. Also Noah Lewis into the ball game as Squires gets a nice ovation in his final game. 16 points.
Squires and Elmore out, a couple of his seniors. JC gets them out, gives them an opportunity to get a hand from the crowd there for the season-long effort.
Free throw is no good. The rebound comes down to Central Hardin. 7 seconds left to go in this one. Rouse inside, pushes up the jumper. He gets into the scorebook to make it 60-53. And North Hardin moves on to play John Hardin for the district championship, beating Central Hardin tonight 60-53. North Hardin led it wire to wire, built an 18-point lead early in the second quarter. Central Hardin fought back, cut it down to a 7-point margin at halftime, 34-28. Had it down to 2 points at 43-41, but could never climb the ladder as North was able to stretch the margin back out and put it away with a 7-point victory here tonight over Central Hardin. Leading scorers in the ball game, it will be Ruben Gosa finishing the night with 33 points for North Hardin. Across the way, Troy Squires will finish the night with 16 for Central Hardin.
For Central Hardin, number 14, Troy Squires.
All tournament selections being named.
Number 35, Alex Crowder.
Alex Crowder and Troy Squires for Central Hardin. Earlier in the evening, the all tournament selections, we missed those for Elizabethtown. I believe Zane Nishdawi and I believe Zach Patterson.
Nick McDonald. Nick McDonald was the second pick, yes.
So 60-52 or 60-53, the final score in this one.
Two good ball games tonight, Lee, and sets up for an exciting district final Friday night, 6:30.
And we'll have that for you on Channel 1 and HCEC-TV. In the meantime, it is the girls' district semifinals tomorrow night from North Hardin. As opening game, we'll have Elizabethtown taking on Central Hardin in the first game. The nightcap pitting the Lady Trojans against the John Hardin Lady Bulldogs. Thanks to the sponsors making possible coverage of this ball game: Brandenburg Telecom, Physical Therapy Associates, E-Town Exterminating, Bluegrass Cellular, eTownApartments.com, by Mark Harris Construction, and by West Point Bank. For Hugh O'Brien and the rest of our HCEC TV crew, Lee Bramlett saying so long from John Hardin High School.